myself Mrs. Lalita Sunil Avchite, and I am going to start a new chapter in 12th standard English book, An Astrologer's Day. This text is written by R.K. Narayan. This text is written by R.K. Narayan, and R.K. Narayan is his full name was Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy. He was one of the best known novelists among Indian English writers. He is the author of 14 novels, 5 volumes of short stories and number of travelogues, and has collection of non-fiction of his credit. He wrote this text, and this text is from his novel Guide. This text is about Astrologer's Day, how Astrologer started his day and how his one day was spent. See, punctually at midday, he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipments, which consisted of dozen cowrie shells, a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic charts on it, a notebook, and a bundle of Palmyra writing. Punctually at midday means at 12 o'clock he opened his bag, because he came on that place at 12 o'clock and he started to work for his whole day. So he came there, he started to open his bag and spread out some professional equipment. Now what professional equipment an astrologer have? He have dozen of cowrie shells. You know that cowrie means a sea animal. It is the cover of sea animal. So that type of shells he have. And he also have a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic charts on it. He had a piece of cloth, and that piece of cloth have obscure means difficult to understand. That charts on that cloth were difficult to understand, were complicated charts on it, and there is a notebook also, and a bundle of Palmyra writing. Palmyra means in the size of palm, की हाताच्या साइज नुसार केलेले writing. So his forehead was resplendent with sacred ash and vermilion. Now what his forehead have? His forehead was covered with sacred ash and vermilion. Ash means that holy ash uh, which he put on his forehead, and also vermilion, and his eyes sparkled with a sharp abnormal gleam, which was really an outcome of continuous search for customers. Now his face, his eyes have some different gleam, different shine. And what was that shine? That it was because of he was continuously searching for the customers, but which his simple clients to be a prophetic. Now his eyes have some different gleam, and that gleam was taken by the simple people, just like he has some knowledge about predicting about the future, and felt comforted. And after watching that gleam, that people are feeling comfortable. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced by their position placed as they were between the painted forehead and the dark whisker. Now his forehead was painted with sacred ash and vermilion, and he also have dark whiskers, right? So because of that two things, his eyes have more power, more enhanced. They are looking enhancing, and which stream down his cheeks. Now that dark whiskers stream down by his cheeks. Even a half-wit's eyes would sparkle in such setting. Now the author is telling that he had that dark whiskers and he also have a painted forehead. In such setting, even a person who is not more witty is also looking amazing. He will also have some, he is also looking like he has some abnormal powers or natural powers. To crown the effect, he wound a saffron colored turban around his head. And to crown this effect, to enhance this effect, he also wore a saffron colored turban around his neck. Now this color scheme never failed. This color scheme is always very successful because he always wore it, and it was never get unsuccessful. Because why he said that, author said that, because of this color scheme, people are coming to him, people are attracting towards him. People were attracted to him as bees are attracted to cosmos or dahlia stalks. Now people are attracted to him like honeybees are attracted to flowers. So he sat under the boughs of spreading tamarind tree, which flanked a path running through the town hall. Now people are attracting towards him, but the place is also remarkable where he was sitting. Where he was sitting? He was sitting near the path running through the town hall, because large crowd was going towards the town hall and they are also returning. So that large crowd was also attracting towards him. It was a remarkable place in many ways. A searching crowd was always moving up and down the narrow road, and from the moving till night. Now he started his business, started his work at 12 o'clock, and till midnight he was doing his work, because large crowd was going upward towards the town hall and they are coming downwards to their homes from that town hall. So there was a large crowd in front of him, and he was doing his business there. A variety of trades and occupation was represented all along its way. Different types of occupations were going on that way, because a medicine seller was there, a seller of stolen hardware and junk, magician, and above all, an auctioneer of cheap cloth, who created enough din all the day. Which businesses were going on that road, on that town hall road? Which type of businesses? Different type of businesses were going on that road. This question is also asked, which type of businesses are going on that town hall road. So the web chat can be asked, or another question can be asked. So you have to answer that medicine seller was there, seller of stolen hardware and junk, magician, and an auctioneer of cheap cloth. He was doing the auction of cheap clothes. Auction of cheap clothes means that clothes which are not very much expensive, and he was doing auction of that cheap cloth. Who created enough din all day to attract the town, and he was making all the noise all the day. He was making loud noise to attract the people. And to next to him, the vociferous came a vendor of fried groundnut, who gave his wearer a fancy name each day. Vociferous means same way. He was also allowed. Means like that auctioneer of cheap cloth, the another person who was making a loud noise, that was a fried groundnut seller, and he was also very much noisy, he was also very much loud, and he was selling the fried groundnut. Now he was giving a fancy name each day to his wearer. What ware he was selling? He was selling fried groundnuts. So to that fried groundnuts he was always giving different name. Sometimes he was calling it Bombay ice cream. He was calling Bombay ice cream. Sometimes he was calling it as Delhi almond. and sometimes he was calling them as Raja's delicacy. And these three names or another names he was giving his fried groundnut every day, and so on and so forth. Means he was giving lots of names to his fried groundnut, and people flocked to him, and people also attracted to him. In the same way, like they are attracting to the astrologer, they are attracting to the fried groundnut. Why the people are attracting towards him? Because he was giving a fancy name each day to the fried groundnut. A considerable portion of this crowd dallied before the astrologer too. And when the people are coming to buy the fried groundnut, same time the people are dallied means they stay for a long time before the astrologer too. They are waiting for the astrologer there, they are dallied before him, they stay there for a long time. The astrologer transacted his business by the light of the flare which crackled and smoked up above the groundnut heap nearby. Now the astrologer didn't have his own light, and he was doing his work, doing his business by the crackled and smoked up light of the groundnut cellar. And that groundnut cellar always have the light on the groundnut heap. Half the enchantment of the place was due to the fact that did not have the benefit of municipal lighting. Now the astrologer didn't want any type of lightning. Why? Because he was doing his business under the light of another cellars, and that place didn't have the benefit of municipal lightning. The place was lit up by the shop lights. One or two had hissing gas lights. Some had naked flares stuck on the poles. Some were lit up by old cycle lamp. One or two, like the astrologer, managed without lights. Means that different seller have different provision of lights, because some have the hissing gas light. Hissing means making a different type of sound. Okay, that gas lights are making a sound of hissing, so they are called as a hissing gas lights. Some had naked flares, means without any covering, that are called naked flares, and they stuck on the poles. Some were lit up by the old cycle lamp. On one or two, like the astrologer, managed without lights of their own. It was a bewildering crisscross of light, rays, and moving shadows. This suited the astrologer very well, and because of there was not a uniformity of light, that because of it there was a crisscross of light on that road, and this type of atmosphere was very much suitable for the astrologer, for the simple reason that he had not in the least intended to be an astrologer when he began his life. Now why this type of atmosphere was suitable for him? Because he never want to become an astrologer. He was not astrologer by profession. He just started his life and he become astrologer with one incident. So here we have to stop. In the next chapter, in the next lecture, we will continue.